And this quote is about a young man. He was a young lawyer in New York. He'd married a beautiful girl, and they had a lovely daughter. And then suddenly, she died. And this is what he wrote. This was in his diary. He said, "She was beautiful in face and form, and lovelier still in spirit. As a flower she grew, and as a fair young flower she died. And when my heart's dearest died, the light went from my life forever." He thought the life gone from his life forever, but he went on. It's only a beginning, always. The young must know it, the old must know it, because the greatness comes not when things go always good for you, but the greatness comes and you're really tested. When you take some knocks, some disappointments, when sadness comes, because only if you've been in the deepest valley can you ever know how magnificent it is to be on the highest mountain. Always give your best. Never get discouraged. Never be petty. Always remember, others may hate you. Those who hate you don't win unless you hate them. And then you destroy yourself.
That a lobster is a soft, mushy animal that lives inside of a rigid shell. That rigid shell does not expand. As the lobster grows, that shell becomes very confining, and the lobster feels itself under pressure and uncomfortable, casts off the shell and produces a new one. Well, eventually, that shell becomes very uncomfortable as it grows, and the lobster repeats this numerous times. The stimulus for the lobster to be able to grow is that it feels uncomfortable. Now, if lobsters had doctors, they would never grow, because as soon as the lobster feels uncomfortable, goes to the doctor, gets a Valium, gets a Percocet, feels fine, never gets off its shell. So we have to realize that times of stress are also times that are signals for growth. And if we use adversity properly, we can grow through adversity.
These things happen to you and you think you've been dealt a terrible hand or you've had bad luck, and when you just go with it, you just start improvising, suddenly you realize that you stumble upon some of the best things that have ever happened to you.
He thought the life gone from his life forever, but he went on.
Sometimes, yeah, you've got to cut a little piece of yourself off, yeah, no matter how much it hurts, in order to grow, yeah, in order to move on.
I read some words that I found extremely powerful that I've been carrying with me ever since. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does always actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat.
You will have good days and you'll have bad days, but you will always learn something more or something new, and you will learn more overall on bad days than good days.
I'm here to say you will make mistakes along the way. You will fall down. I have, many times. Even Ali did. But what we do after that fall is how we make history, because impossible is nothing. These are words to remember when anyone tries to tell you to give up, tell you to give in, because whatever you're trying to do is impossible. The champ said this: impossible is just a word thrown around by small men who find it easier to live in the world they've been given than to explore the power they have to change it. Impossible is not a fact. It's an opinion. Impossible is potential. Impossible is temporary. Impossible is nothing.
Muhammad always predicted from a small boy that he would be the world's heavyweight champion. He always said, told the kids in the neighborhood, I'm going to be champ of the world, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that.
Chicken Soup for the Soul was rejected by 144 publishers. 144 publishers said, we don't want to publish a collection of short stories. Now, have you ever told someone your dream and had them laugh out loud? He laughed out loud. Now, if we had given up after 100 publishers had said no, I wouldn't be standing here today. And so you've got to be willing to persevere. Because we didn't take no. See, when the world says no, you say next.
I think the biggest disability that we have as human beings is unbelief.
So what we have is this endless possibility, but you have to persevere. It's as if the universe tests our commitment. And so today we have 147 titles in print. We sold over 115 million copies. We're in 47 languages.
Everything starts with a vision, and a man without vision dies.
A brass bell that hangs in the center of the compound for all the students to see. All you have to do to quit is ring the bell. Ring the bell, and you no longer have to wake up at 5 o'clock. Ring the bell, and you no longer have to be in the freezing cold swims. Ring the bell, and you no longer have to do the runs, the obstacle course, the PT, and you no longer have to endure the hardships of training. All you have to do is ring the bell to get out. If you want to change the world, don't ever, ever ring the bell.
I have to shut it all out. The noise, it's loud. You have to cancel out the noise and remember that it's your thoughts that matter.
I'm young, I'm handsome, I'm fast, I'm pretty, and can't possibly be beat.
This is my moment for me.
You will learn more about yourself, you'll learn more about relationships, you'll learn about life and principles, and it'll build your character.
So if you're willing to decide what you want, believe it's possible, consciously envision the future, feel the feelings of what it would feel like if you had achieved this goal, you can have anything, and then you take action.
I am the greatest.
Even though I was having these troubles at home, and even though I had no job, no security, you know what I mean, or whatever, didn't know what I was doing. If it didn't happen, it didn't happen, but I still was able to feel like it was. Isn't it like a kid would use his imagination? I was basically just using my imagination.
Some people can see farther than others. We all live in our own world of limitations. Some people can see farther than others.
I have a big vision. I put a lot of effort, a lot of sacrifice in things I do. If I don't do it, it means I don't believe in it. In this, I believe very strong, and I will not give up until I'm top of the world. So that's the way it works. You aim for the top, you don't aim for the second. Second place is the first place among the last ones, and that's not my target.
I try to do it almost every day. This is why I'm in a top level many years. Because I do it extra outside. When I'm 12 years old, most of the people told me, Cristiano, you are a very good talent player, but you are very skinny, very slim. And I put it in my mind, the body we can improve. You can improve, you go to gym, dedication and hard work, you can improve. So I'll improve myself.
A lot of times people believe in certain things, but they keep to themselves. They don't put it out there. You truly believe in it. If you become vocal with it, you are creating that law of attraction, and it will become reality.
I want you to see yourself doing what you want to do, experiencing what you want to experience.
Everyone's unique. You know what I mean? You take, like Bruce Lee said, you take from everyone. and you use what is useful and you discard what is not, and you add what is uniquely your own.
Having what you want to have, doing what it is that gives your life some meaning and value.
People who go against the odds, I suppose. You know, people who do stuff that hasn't been done before, and people who do stuff that people say they can't do. That inspires me. Hard workers, people that are chasing their dream no matter what people are saying, no matter what people think.
Is a lot of people just go do what they feel like they should do and live with the status quo and you know, go live by all these rules and hey, this is going to be okay. You know, just go accept your average 9 to 5 rather than striving for something, because the ultimate goal isn't to succeed or fail. The ultimate goal is to give it everything you have for something that's on your heart and a dream, and pursuing that. And if you get to live out your dream every single day, then the result doesn't matter. I can look back 20, 30 years from now and be able to look at this time and say, you know what, I gave everything I had. Dreams are based on something that's in your heart, that are passions, that are something that you want to go try, not on chances.
I've been on the end of many defeats in my life, and I've rose back, so I will not shy away from it. I will not make excuses for it. I will assess it and come back.
If you can see it here, and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen.
I'll never lose a fight. It's impossible. Tell him. It's impossible.
Never lost a fight in your life.
Ask any of my fans when was the last time they lost. I'm too fast.
Champion from
I'm the king. Born to tell. If you like to lose your money, be a fool and bet on Sonny.
Liston will kill him. He'll kill him in the first round. I'll be Liston in 3 rounds. Okay, Liston in about 4. Liston by 2. 2. Liston in 3. First round. 1 Liston. 1 Liston. Second round Liston. Liston in 4.
Saying I'm gonna do something, putting it out there for the world to see, and then going out and doing it. There's no better feeling in the world than that, and it's as easy as that. Say what you're gonna do, and go and do it. I still envision 2 and possibly 3 belts.
I'm gonna go with Eddie Alvarez in the main event.
Eddie? I don't see how Conor can beat a heart like that.
I think Alvarez wins.
I think Eddie has all the tools to get the job done.
The notorious Conor McGregor!
3/4 of a mile, the effort was still barely perceptible. The time was 3 minutes, 0.7 seconds. A 4-minute mile was possible. Somehow, to do it, I had to run the last lap in 59 seconds. I felt that the moment of a lifetime had come. Those last few seconds seemed never-ending. The faint line of the finishing tape stood ahead as a haven of peace after the struggle. I knew I had done it before I even heard the time. I felt as if I was too close to have failed.
And I remember thinking, if I can get through this, it'll may be as hard, but it's impossible for it to be hard. And I've had a lot of hard times since.
He thought the life gone from his life forever, but he went on. When you take some knocks, some disappointments, when sadness comes, because only if you've been in the deepest valley can you ever know how magnificent it is to be on the highest mountain.
Roll the dice. If you're gonna try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. If you're gonna try, go all the way.
This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs, and maybe your mind. Go all the way. Could mean not eating for 3 or 4 days. It could mean freezing on a park bench. It could mean jail. It could mean derision. It could mean mockery, isolation. Isolation is a gift. All the others are a test of your endurance, of how much you really want to do it. And you'll do it, despite rejection and the worst odds. And it will be better than anything else you can imagine. If you're going to try, go all the way. There's no other feeling like that. You'll be alone with the gods, and the nights will flame with fire. Do it, do it, do it. All the way, all the way. You will ride life. It's perfect laughter. It's the only good fight there is.
Pick up your damn suffering and bear it. And try to be a good person so you don't make it worse. Well, that's a truth.
Pain or damage don't end the world, or despair, or fucking beatings. The world ends when you're dead. Until then, you got more punishment in store. Stand it like a man and give some back.
God, there's reasons to be resentful about your existence. Everyone you know is going to die. You know, you too. And there's going to be a fair bit of pain along the way, and lots of it's going to be unfair. It's like, yeah, no wonder you're resentful. It's like, act it out and see what happens. You make everything you're complaining about infinitely worse. There's this idea that hell is a bottomless pit, and that's because no matter how bad it is, some stupid son of a bitch like you could figure out a way to make it a lot worse. So you think, well, what do you do about that? Well, you accept it.
I did not feel that pain. I did not care if I was bleeding on my knees, because I know that pain is temporary, but the film is permanent. And I explained that to the director, so this is why I try to tell you, always discover your vision, and the rest will follow. Never ever think small. If you're going to accomplish anything, you have to think big. You have to go and shoot for the stars. The biggest challenge most people have is because they think small. And the reason why people think small and why they choose small little goals is because they're afraid to fail. They know that if you shoot for a big goal, then the chances of failing are very high. And they're afraid of failing. It's one of the most common things why people are frozen and why they can't make a move in life, because they're scared of failing. I say to myself, hey, I'm not worried about failing, because that's part of life. You're not going to go and win everything. And how far can you fall? Look at this. This is the ground. That's as far as I can fall. And you know something? That the only time you really consider the failure is if you fall and you don't get up. But if you get up, you never consider the failure. So I never considered myself a failure. I always considered myself a winner, even though I fell every so often. But I always got up, and I always moved forward. This is the important thing. I never had any patience, of course, for thinking small, because in German we have a saying, wenn schon, denn schon. And that means that if you do something, then go all out and do it well. And this was not just the case in bodybuilding. I didn't just want to be a bodybuilding champion. I wanted to be the greatest bodybuilder of all times. I wanted to have the most muscle, the most muscle of all times, the most definition. I wanted to win the most trophies, the most world championship titles. I just wanted to be the best. And the same is also in movies. I didn't just think about being in movies. No, I wanted to be a movie star. I wanted to have above the title billing. I wanted to become the highest paid entertainer. I basically wanted to be another John Wayne. What's wrong with that?
And I was taught commitment is staying true to what you said you would do long after the mood that you said it in has left. Because we say things when the mood is right? But when the environment and the mood changes, we back off of it.
How can I work hard for something and my performance is not based upon the outcome? How can I work and my effort and my motivation and my drive is not based upon what the product will be, but more so based upon me taking pride in what I do? And so I came up with this thing called process over product, and I firmly believe the process saved my life. And what I mean by the process, I'm talking about the way I handle my business on a daily basis and the way I go about every single aspect of my life. I live by this thing called empty the bucket. And when people hear it, they think it's a cute slogan, empty the bucket, but what they don't understand, it's an unspoken law. Empty the bucket, it's an unspoken law of accountability and responsibility to me on this earth and my existence and everybody that is connected to me. I may be crazy, but I don't know. I just believe that I'm supposed to give everybody that is connected to me the best version of me. I just believe I deserve to give my wife and my children the best version of me. I just believe the people that I'm of service to on this earth, I deserve to give them the best version of me.
I may be crazy, I don't know, but I just believe my 5-year-old son and my 6-year-old daughter, they deserve the best version of me. I may be crazy, I don't know, but I just believe my wife that I've been with ever since we were in the 5th grade, she deserves the best version of me. I may be crazy, I don't know, but my 3 little sisters, I just believe they deserve the best version of their big brother. I may be crazy, I don't know, but the people I'm of service to on this face of this planet, they deserve the best version of me, and I'm not going to give them any less.
I live by this thing called the harder you work, the harder it is to surrender. You see, the reason people quit, they don't take pride in what they do. The harder you work, the harder it is to surrender. And I'm not just talking about business, I'm talking about winning simultaneously in every aspect of life. I'm not concerned with a person that does well in one aspect of their life and they can hang their hat there and say, man, I made a lot of money. You made a lot of money, you're a public success, but you're a private failure. What good is it to make a lot of money and you don't want to go home to your family? What good is it to make a lot of money and you don't take care of your kids? What good is it? You're a public success, but you're a private failure. And so how can we win simultaneously and take pride in everything that we do?
I have come to learn that if you don't take it by force, you won't take it at all. You sit in the cut and wait for good things to happen, spend years, and life passes them by because they are not aggressive enough. I'm not talking about physical fighting, but I'm talking about that aggressive nature that causes you to not allow the enemy to take over your stuff.
You are a part of something that transcends all the details of your business. You prove it every day that it works. And you prove it by overcoming the obstacles that you have to deal with. There are all sorts of people who want to break your faith. Sometimes they're in your own family. And sometimes they're just so-called good friends who think you're crazy for doing what you're doing. But you see, you have decided to take charge of your life. You have decided that you are going to change it. You're not going to wait for the government. You're not going to wait for some school or something else to happen. You are going to change your situation. I spent my life at it. Been pretty good. But it wasn't always easy. Business isn't. Life isn't. But to those who can overcome the obstacles, rise up when difficulties arise, are the ones who win the prize. Everybody starts at the bottom. And there is no advantage to starting 10 years ago as opposed to starting today. In fact, it's better today than it was then. So stick with it. Find our way through it. Just find out an answer. It works, folks. This business works for those who work it.
Roll the dice. If you're gonna try, go all the way.
But I want you to know that while they're getting the diamonds and the millions, there are a lot of people around the world, for them, it is the worst of times. The best of times and the worst of times. That's called serious matter. How come such a difference from those who can reach such incredible heights and those who haven't yet found the answers for their life and their health and their future? We just have to ponder that and let that give us a note of seriousness, a note of seriousness. It's serious whether you win or lose. It's serious whether you succeed or fail. It's serious whether you've got a good future carved out for yourself or you do not have. These are serious matters. Matters of the heart are serious. Matters of income are serious. Matters of supporting your family, serious. Are you serious? Why? We got a serious matter here to discuss. We haven't come with the latest 10 stories. We've come with a serious matter. And I want you to take on that serious tone. You've got some serious products that answer a serious need out there in the marketplace. And I'm asking you to take it serious. Take your own future serious. What you can do for your family, take it serious. This is serious business. So that's the first thing I want to bring to you. To have the best year ever this year, so that you can say, I made my best and finest contribution to see that goal reached. Not just for the figure, but for all that the figure represents, for the healing it represents, for the restoration of broken lives that it represents, and people that are discouraged about their life and their chances, now encouraged on a new road, for all that that represents. Willing to make the studies, willing to make the commitment, willing to do the learning, find better ways to choose the words, find better ways to reach inside, get heart and soul, mix it all together, and make an impact on people. But here's the best motivation we've got going. The proof of our success. When we bring our success stories to this platform, that's enough motivation. When we bring our dedication and let it show, we let the work of our hands show, that's the motivation we want. Right? Not just excitement. Just excitement alone won't do it. Just because you've listened to those millionaire tapes one time is no sign you've got it. I'm asking you to listen to them over and over and over. I'm asking you to dedicate yourself to a new level of learning. You know, study, learn, grow, change, develop. Never let it be said you didn't learn. Right? If you want to solve your problems, you got to learn. If you want to take advantage of an opportunity, you got to learn. Develop your own personal philosophy here. Philosophy, major determining factor in how your life works out. Each person's philosophy is like the set of the sail. The same wind blows on us all. The difference in where we arrive at the end of the week, at the end of the month, at the end of the year is not the wind that blows. And the wind is blowing around the world. The world is in solution. Things are a-changing. The walls have come down. All kinds of things are happening. In Russia today, the winds are blowing. But what's going to make the major difference? Each person's personal philosophy that sets a better sail, sets a better sail. So don't ask for a more favorable wind. That's like wishing something that's not going to occur. Don't ask for better seed and soil. All you got's what's available. Don't curse what you got. On this planet, all we got's the seed that's here, the soil that's here, the miracle of life that's here, the opportunity that's here, the seasons that are here. That's all we got. Wherever you've come from in your country, the economy you got, that's all you got. In America, our economy, that's all we got. The government, that's all we got. The marketplace, that's all we got. Whatever you do, don't criticize all you got. The key is to set a better sail and turn what you've got into the miracle of your future. Don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems. Wish for more skills. You might go home and set a whole new pace for yourself and We call it cleaning up neglect. Should walk around the block, could walk around the block for your good health. Don't walk around the block. See, you're on the wrong track. Should read, could read, don't read. On the wrong track. Should call, could call, don't call. On the wrong track. Could change, should change, don't change. You're on the wrong track. Letters you haven't written, conversations you haven't had with your family, somebody you should sit down with when you get back home and get that job done. Don't let neglect destroy your days, destroy your life, and destroy your future. Go back and do what you can. And if you'll do what you can, then life will give you some extraordinary things to do. You start first with the smallest of disciplines, and do not neglect them and do not disregard them as being trifling. Everything matters. Everything's important. All disciplines affect each other. In fact, here's a good philosophical phrase. If you hadn't thought of it before, here it is. Everything affects everything else. It's so easy to be casual and say, well, this doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. I'm telling you, everything matters. Of course, some things matter more than others, but there isn't anything that doesn't matter. Because if you'll be faithful, if you'll be disciplined when the amounts are small, we'll make you a ruler, give you a position of authority when the amounts are many. Take care of your disciplines when the amounts are small, and then life will see to it that you get some extraordinary numbers to work with, like you saw the stories displayed here. Do not disregard the smallest of disciplines. Let us not neglect. Do not neglect the smallest of disciplines, and build on that foundation, and you can have everything you could possibly want. You say, well, what can I do about the upcoming winters of my life, the challenges that I know I'm going to face? Here's what you can do. You can get wiser and stronger and better. Just make a list of that trio of words. Wiser, stronger, and better. Go home smarter than you came. Go home with more ideas than you came with. Next, get stronger. You can develop the muscle. You can develop the courage muscle. You can develop the inspiration muscle. You can develop the dedication muscle. You can get stronger. There isn't anybody here that can't get stronger. Next time we see you, may not even recognize you, how strong you're going to be able to become in language, in style, in personality, the ability to cope, the ability to handle with anything that happens, no matter what happens. The key is not to wish for a better winter. The key is to wish for more strength, more wisdom, more courage, get better, get wiser, get stronger. And you've got to learn not only to nourish your values, you've got to learn to do battle with your enemies. Whatever threatens you, I'm asking you to threaten it back. Take care of your responsibility, but don't take anything off of anybody. Somebody wants to destroy your chances for a good future by their negative talk, negative thinking, putting it all down. I'm telling you, walk away if you have to. Walk away. Whatever threatens you, threaten it back. Whatever threatens your opportunity, threaten it back. Now, some of our enemies are on the outside, but here's the most important thing to understand. Some of our enemies are on the inside. Let me give you a quick list. Indifference. You got to do battle with your own indifference. Boy, it's easy to coast. Especially if you've accomplished something, extraordinary. Now, somebody says, well, I got to relax. Here's the key. Not too long. The weeds will take all you plant if you rest too long. Don't rest too long. Indecision. You got to make those decisions. The ones that don't turn out to be good gives you experience to make better decisions. Don't let much time go by without making some decisions. The ones that you can make quickly, make them quickly. The ones that take time, take your time, but get those decisions made. Don't let indecision be an enemy, rob you of the future, empty your bank account, leave you with zero in the purse. Don't let that happen. The next one is doubt. Sure, there's doubts on the outside. People doubt that America's going to make it. People doubt that Europe's going to make it. People doubt that Russia's going to make it, that Poland's going to make it, that Czechoslovakia is going to make it. They doubt the whole world is going to make it. But I'm asking you not to pick up all those doubts. I'm asking you to have some faith, have some courage, believe, drive your doubts into a small corner. Don't let them loose like a mad dog, drive you into a small corner. Don't doubt the future. Don't doubt the possibilities. Don't doubt the extraordinary gifts that your distributors bring to your organization. Don't doubt that. And here's the most important one of all. Don't doubt yourself. If I've got miracle working power to change my life, so do you. If I've got the ability to change, so do you. If I've got the ability to read, so do you. If I can discover, so can you. If I can grow, you can grow.